everybody, this is Chris, the lottery guy. Today I am working on a little different strategy. This is going to be of course this is the 646 strategy on the rundown. But what I am doing on this right here rundown is a little different on how I got my numbers. Right now we have total, if you've been following a few of my other videos of how I've been doing my numbers on the right here, on the ones that I have listed in orange are going to be the ones that are going to be below 10 on the sum or above 19 on the sum. Today, as of today, between the last 130 draws, we have 126 draws. We have 38 of these that are below 10 and above 19 on the sums. Now, if you see how I've got them listed, this right here, like the 5 sum, is in orange, and that is below 10. And then on these other ones, this last one right here, for that, 630 is number 9, and that's below 10. Then we going back further, we have 488, that's a 20 sum, and that's going to be above 19 on the sum. So that's where I come up with these 38, as I went back over 100 draws ago and started counting these. And if you look right here, the number on the ones between 10 and 19 on the sum, I have right now a lot more. It's 85 of those. So you kind of see how that falls in place, where in between 10 to 19 on the sums, you have almost triple the amount of this one over here. So what I'm going to show you is on this rundown, I'm going to use that sum in this category on how I'm doing some of these numbers. And if you see the ones that I have in the orange, it's in this row and part of the next row. There's only 15 on the orange, and those all are going to be below 10 or above 19 on those. Then over here in the blue, we have 29 of the blues. That's going to be between 10 and 19 on those. And we have a total of 44 sets. And what I'm doing on this right here video today is this is like a practice. And I want to practice to see how well this does, to see how good the numbers show up on this, how I got these numbers. And now I'm going to show you how I produce these numbers off of this. On the sum, we have the number 7, not on the sum, I'm sorry, on the date. On the date, the number 7 right here I have circled in like a pink looking color. And I have one here at the bottom, and I have one here at the top. And if you watch the previous videos, normally what we do is the numbers that come up will either be in the date sum or the mirror number on the date sum. It'll be up and around this area touching. And that's how we've been coming up with a lot of those numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you now the patterns. I have 4 sheets of patterns. These right here, I will explain to you in just a moment how these work. And on these patterns, I have a total that I got up right now is going to be 75 patterns that I'm going off of. I have like 4 pages of these patterns. And if you look, the date sum here is on the left hand side, and then I have these patterns around back. And then this right here, patterns, this date sum is going to be in the middle, and this one's going to be over here on the left. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at the date sums right here and see the location of where they're at. It's going to be, this one's going to be at the top on the right hand line, and this one's going to be at the bottom on the right hand line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my patterns, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to find the patterns like that with my date sums are. And whenever I wrote these down, these are previous drawings, and the only thing I've done on the previous drawings is I just wrote in the date sum where it was at and the pattern that come below it. And then that way it'll be a lot less confusing. I have the dates down below and the numbers that come up on that drawing. So this is one of the date sums that I used. If you look at this number 3 on the right, what I've done was I transferred my same pattern that these numbers showed up. I transferred those over. Well, I didn't transfer those over. I used that pattern on those directions, and then I've come over here and I use the same pattern. And I use the same pattern here. Every one of these patterns that I've done are going to be on the date sums. On the same line, this is on the right hand side, and this is where I use that same pattern. Like I use this pattern, this one right here, the date sum is going to be on the left, I did not use it. This one is going to be in the middle, I did not use that one. This one's on the left, I did not use it. And this one is on the right, I had to use that one right there, so I used that one on the right. And that's the only one I used out for that. This one right here was on the right, I used the pattern off of that. So you kind of get an idea of how I got my patterns. And that is where I come over here, and this is how I got my numbers. Well, if you look on these numbers on the orange, you have going to be below 10 and above 19. Those numbers do not show up as much, and there's 15 of those in this. So what I would do is on those is I would pick some that's overdue. Like right now on my overdue list is going to be a 25 some, which I do not have a 25 in the orange, but I do have a 24 in the orange. And right here, if you look right here, this is 789, totals up to be number 24. So whenever I go by my numbers, this one right here is going to be in the overdue range, so I will definitely buy that one. But if you look in the blue, these are going to be your patterns that's going to come up more often. If you see right here, we have 85 compared to 38. So I'll use all of these when I buy my numbers. I'll use all these in the blue. Then I'll pick my battle over here on the left hand side in the orange, and then I'll choose one or two of those, or I'll use this one right here, it's a 789, and maybe do that in a combo where I cover all 6 directions, and I got that one number covered that's going to be on that, on the overdue sums. So like yesterday, I do not have my rundown on yesterday right here in front of me, but yesterday what happened was I done a pattern to check this out, and when I done that pattern to check it out, sure enough, the number did come up. And the number it come up was going to be the 067 is the one that come up. And that 13 come up in there, but I did not buy my numbers on that, and I was just like a test run. And this one right here is going to be like a test run also. Just trying to see how this works. I may have to go back and maybe get more than 75 patterns to cover this, to maybe get me up to about 50 numbers. This is 44, I would like a 6 more. So there's many patterns that can be chosen. And I have 75, and it took some time to write all that down and figure out how to do it. So stay tuned for tomorrow night, tomorrow's video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you these same numbers, and you can see the screen, and see if these numbers come up in tonight's drawing at 10. Like I said, I'm not going to buy the numbers tonight. This is a test run to see if this pattern strategy will work. So I hope everyone likes this video. If you will, like and subscribe, and thank you very much.